Hi everyone, my name is Dean Riley and I'm continuing with my ShiftMS Takeover for September. I'm joined today with the MS Society Scotland Director, Morna Simpkins. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Dean, thank you.
Now it's been about a year since I last met you. In fact, it's been exactly a year.
A year to the day.
Because we were down in Street last year. I got selected to go along with the MS Society for an event with Samantha Cameron.
That's correct.
So that was great. So I suppose it's our anniversary.
It is.
That's really.
Yes.
So I've come along, I've got some questions here. I'm going to try and be a bit different. We did do the other 3 interviews with selfie sticks, but because obviously you're the boss and things, I thought I'd try and be a bit more professional. And so obviously you're a year now with because I think you just joined recently at the time.
Past May, so it was May 2015 I joined the MS Society.
So when you first came in, did you have like an initial sort of plan or goals of what you wanted to achieve in the first 12 months? And did it I'd imagine it's probably changed and evolved as things have changed. And
I think the changing and evolving bit has definitely been the case. When I came in, obviously part of my initial goal was to provide some stability to the team here in Scotland. And I will say we've got an amazing team in Scotland, and I mean the volunteers and staff as well. And I suppose my priorities then were to increase service delivery so that we were helping people with MS no matter where they were in Scotland. I had a personal target to try and see us access some restricted funding and start to move in that area. And just really to get grips with things and just, make life better for people with MS. So, but we've gone through a lot of changes in organisation, and we've got our services and support strategy which backs up our bigger strategy, and we're starting to really move things along. So yes, it has definitely been changing and evolving over the last year and a bit.
yeah, it sounds like that. I suppose that's in the organisation that you're in. Change is probably the only constant.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with all that goes on in the political world, and with policy and everything like that, it is always changing.
Yeah. Did you have any sort of specific targets that you really wanted to focus on for your first year, and did you manage to achieve that, or did those change in line with the political structure and stuff?
Well, I think, as I said to you, obviously getting to grips with the organisation. I have worked for a UK charity before, but obviously it's a much larger organisation. Providing that stability and that leadership here in Scotland, getting the team back up to the full complement and back in the changes that we'd had, and really just using my knowledge and expertise from where I've been before within another voluntary organisation to try and help make inroads within health and social care, which is changing, and help my knowledge with restricted funding. So, and we've been able to put in at least 2 or 3 restricted funded bids this year, which we'll hopefully know the results of before this year finishes. So yeah, they were kind of, I suppose, my broad target, and to contribute to things like local network review and all the other bits of work that the organisation is doing. So.
I mean, did you have, obviously prior to joining the MS Society, did you have any sort of personal connection with MS at all?
I do. I have a friend who lives down south that has MS and has done for a number of years. But interestingly enough, I've also worked in 2 different organisations, both of which I've had staff members who had MS, and within 2 months of leaving my previous job to take this one up, one of my staff had just been diagnosed with MS. So, so yes, it was quite. So
it's something, something that's it's been sort of not part of your life, but you've been more aware of it than perhaps other people as well. Did that have an influence on sort of your appetite with the job as well?
I think so, and I think just the knowledge and what I'd known from a friend, and seeing 2 or 3 people deal with it very differently, but obviously the things that have just been reinforced to me about the fluctuating nature of the condition, and people's just how they handle it and what support they need at different times of their lives, and and wanting to stay in work and try and live life as normal as possible, whatever that normal is for them.
Yeah.
So yes, so it did have a big influence.
So if you're obviously looking at a year from I met you, but it's actually probably about 18 months with the society, looking back on it, how have you found in the first sort of year or year and a bit, and do you have, what's your plans for the next 12 months, if you're allowed to share them, I suppose?
Absolutely. The last 18 months have just flown in. I can't believe it's been that amount of time. It's been amazing. The team here in Scotland are amazing, the volunteers that we have, and I think there's been lots of highlights to that, and you mentioned the reception at number 10. Obviously I was still quite new and it seemed quite daunting, but what I think always never ceases to amaze me is just the impact that people make, the volunteers, their commitment, what they do, our fundraisers, the people that campaign. It never ceases to amaze me, and there's always something that you go home and you think, no, that's great, we've done it, or whatever. Over the next 12 months, well, we're just in a business planning stage. There's a lot of exciting things happening in Scotland. We've got devolved powers coming to Scotland. So we're in the middle of involved in consultation with the social security system. So we're involving people with MS, partnering up with other neurological charities. And that's somewhere we think we can really make a difference to shape that system so that people with MS have the benefits and the support that they need, no matter whether they're in work or out of work. And to really try and educate people onto the fluctuating nature of MS, and that there is a lot of hidden aspects to the condition, and to highlight that. We've got an amazing programme of fundraising events that we're just finishing off, and an even better programme for next year. We've had things like the Ben Nevis Night Hike, which we had one night booked, sold out, booked a second night. We've set a target of 16,000 and it's just smashed £55,000, so that is absolutely amazing. Campaigning, fundraising, there's a huge number of things to look forward to. We've just recently launched the results of My MS, My Needs 2, which surveyed people with MS throughout the UK, but obviously for Scotland, and it gave us some interesting statistics to say that the amount of people that are on disease-modifying therapies has increased, but we've still got a long way to go, and a long way to go to the people that have been diagnosed longer haven't had the same access to an MS nurse or neurologist, so they're maybe not benefiting from that treatment, which we know obviously will make an impact on their life for longer.
The whole point of me coming in today was probably to showcase just a little bit of what you guys do. Obviously, coming in here regularly, I see firsthand the passion and commitment. I keep knocking on about it, but it's very evident. Even yourself, you actually seen yourself change when you start to talk about the Ben Nevis thing, like the pride coming out of it. And I don't know, probably you've probably already answered the question, but has there been something over the last 18 months, or a specific task or goal, or that you're a piece of work that you're really proud of that you've achieved?
I think, as I said, it's been a number of things. I think it's the fundraising that we do. I think it's the volunteers that support us up and down, throughout Scotland. They run branches, they campaign, they speak at events, the people that contribute. We've done a lot of work to get us to the point of submitting the restricted funding bids. We've done a lot of co-production and co-design with people. People have been very willing to give up their time and help us shape service delivery, see what's needed, be honest about gaps, what matters to them, how we can help them improve life. So there's been a number of things. Our campaigns, we've had great coverage on MS Enough, which was our welfare campaign. We've had good publicity around that. We've had good publicity around our treatment. And even up to recently with around disease-modifying therapies and things like that. So there's been a number of highlights. Number 10 was we had a huge Living with MS event back in May this year, really well attended, really good speakers workshop, and excellent evaluation and feedback from people. And so much so we're already planning next year's one, which will be hopefully further north to give people further afield to travel. Or less travel, I should say. So there's been a lot to be thankful for, and we couldn't do it without the team of volunteers and staff, and the connections we have here in Scotland.
One thing, and I've kind of touched on it already, certainly the campaigns. I think the government was looking at the work-related activity group element of EAC and things. Although not being directly affected by that, I felt quite wronged, and I felt quite passionate, because you tend to get, when you start to share things in the MS community, it is quite a tight-knit community, and if something happens to somebody with MS, you do feel it yourself a little bit. and I felt really passionate and strongly about it, but I had no idea what to do with it. And then I got the email through from the MS Society which says, you know, this is what's happening, this is your chance to have your voice, and you fill in the form, and it goes to every MP that's in your area, like that. And I was like, wow.
Yeah. And we had much more take-up of that this time around with the elections than we have in previous.
Yeah.
So the
For me,
profile's definitely getting better.
I think what again, as a person living with MS, and again I keep banging on about it, but you're giving people a voice, and it's kind of like you're a big brother. The MS Society is that kind of feeling, and for me, I would never have had the courage to email an MP and say, I'm not happy about this, and you should do that. However, you just gave people the framework and the structure to be able to do that, have a voice, and it was, for me, it was phenomenal. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that, and I'll definitely do it again. And on the back of it, I've been invited to meetings with Tommy Shepherd, and later on this month I'll be meeting Nicola Sturgeon. So if I can do that, then it's open to everybody, and that's where I would sort of, again, just keep banging on about it, get in touch with you guys, and you know, get involved really.
Absolutely, and it's that power of that, you know, experience of living with MS that is, you can't underestimate. And you know, our manifesto was Get Loud for MS, and we need to continue that message. You know, every little bit is important, whether it's us doing a Scotland-wide campaign or you doing something locally, it all adds up. Makes
a difference, yeah, I think definitely. So what I've done was we went through some of the questions already, but these are ones that people that maybe don't know anything about what the MS Society do. Obviously, something newly diagnosed, never heard of MS before, they walk out, the consultants or the doctors or whatever, and they're like, well, where do I go, who do I go to? So these ones are more sort of geared around that. So what does the MS Society do? If you were trying to put it down in.
Okay, we are the leading charity for people with MS in the UK. As you may or may not know, we have a helpline to help people out, but we're also the biggest charitable fundraiser in the UK, and we put money into supporting research, but also supporting people to help them live with MS, so services at local level, grants and things like that. But as we've just touched on, we work strongly with the MS community through branches, local networks and campaigns, right? So we are very much that voice of people with MS, but we want to be there to support people at the points in their life or their journey that they need. And obviously we've got a website, a huge amount of resources there. We do events, information days locally, we do Living with MS events regionally, and in about just over a week's time we have a big 2-day event down at Excel in London, MS Life, which is information, resources, workshops, taster sessions, everything. So it's one of the biggest events in the UK.
Fantastic. And it's you know, certainly for what it's worth, I certainly appreciate everything you guys do. For, as I say, for people living with MS, you know, not everything impacts me at the moment, but certainly having you guys there, it is like having that big brother and that sort of protection and support, that no matter what it is that's going on, there is something here that can help everybody for every situation. For yourselves, is there a vision moving forward that you have, or?
There is a vision. I mean, obviously we've got a strategy, it's got 7 goals which have been determined directly by people with MS, but our vision ultimately is to have a world that is free from MS. We would like to find a cure, but we may not be at that stage for however many years. But what we want to do is stop the effects of MS, so have interventions, therapies that can stop the symptoms of MS and allow people to live life to the full. And we'll do that through campaigning to get access to drugs and treatment. We'll fundraise to fund research, and we'll ensure that we continue to develop services so that they are there at the touch points within a person's life.
Fantastic. We sort of touched on this one earlier as well, a little bit about the skills and things that you brought into the role. What do you feel that I suppose the MS Society has benefited from having you here, and what have you been able to sort of influence and bring to the role?
Well, I think it's just my previous experience. I mean, I've come from an organisation that has delivered a lot of contracts and services across a wide range of areas, you know, mental health, older people, carers. So I know my way around is sort of contract culture and restricted funding. So I have brought that experience to the the team here into the organisation. I think because I've worked for a national charity as well, and I've got some connections and some people that have been knocking on the doors to ask them to help me. So and just a passion to change people's lives and a commitment to the voluntary sector. I've worked in the voluntary sector for a huge number of years, and for me it's more about how you feel at night when you walk out that door. You feel you've done something to make some difference, and that for me is what I think I can bring to it. But it's not about me and about what I do, it is about the team that's behind me, and we have an amazing team here in Scotland and an amazing amount of volunteers, and if we can make any bit of difference to people's lives in Scotland, then that's what is good.
No, well listen, you've sold me anyway. I'm one of the biggest fans, and it is. I mentioned it earlier again that you feel you walk into the office, it's a welcoming and supportive environment, and I would sort of urge anybody that's wanting to volunteer or fundraise, or even somebody that's living with MS, to get in touch and come in and visit the office and things like that.
Well, even as you said earlier, if someone's got, wants their voice heard or know how to make that voice heard at a local level, then come and talk to them. Yeah,
well, as I said, I would never have done that, and I'm going to be sitting with Nicola Sturgeon in 2 or 3 weeks' time, so that should be entertaining. We'll see how much I've taken in from all the stuff that you've sent me and shared with me.
If you need any pointers, we can help.
Definitely. So obviously as well, people fundraising. I suppose one of the biggest things I always ask is, so where does the money go? Obviously I could probably answer the question myself, but people are going to be more interested in hearing from yourself.
Okay, well obviously as we said earlier, we've got a strategy. We have had a 5-year strategy. It takes us to 2019. There's 7 goals in there, which are about effective treatments right through to knowledge and services on the ground. So any money we raise and any money that we commission or devote to services is all within the alignment of that strategy, which was set in partnership with people with MS. But I suppose the most important ones that I'd like to highlight to make my notes so I get the figures right is in 2015 we gave away 4.2 million through research grants, and we gave away 1.4 million to support grants to help people with MS, so that's either equipment or respite or things. So I suppose those are the 2 most important things. But all our funds that are raised ultimately affect and benefit people affected by MS, so whether that's through our information provision, our website, our helpline, our branches, services that we run here, information days, all of that goes to people affected by MS. And as you know, there's a whole band of volunteers and supporters that fundraise for us through some of the most creative ways, and we do national things ourselves, but every penny does count.
Listen, 1.4 million is a huge amount of money, and that's sort of the real the bread and butter of helping people, or the cold face or whatever that you want to terminology you want to use to describe it. So
and I suppose behind all that there's the things that maybe are not so visible about the changes to policy we make and the campaigning, and we'll keep campaigning to get rid of the 20-metre rule and the PIP guidelines, and more importantly it's about the messages and awareness raisings, whether that's to local services or your employer or whoever, just to highlight what it's like to live with MS.
It just sort of emphasises my point when I said it is kind of like the MS Society. It feels like you've got a big brother looking out for you a little bit, which is, I guess if that's what you maybe not set out to look at it that way, but I certainly feel like that. I'm sure if I feel like that, there must be thousands of other people out there in the UK feeling like that. Now, is there anything that you believe needs to change, and this not mean in regards to just within the MS Society, but perhaps the bigger picture dealing with MS in the UK, is there something that you would like to see flipped on its head or changed in any way?
I think a lot of the things that need to change are around knowledge and understanding of MS and how much a fluctuating condition it is, that no 2 people's lives are affected the same by it, and that I think a lot needs to change around the sort of stigma, and that's part of our latest campaigns. It's about the stigma that can often be attached to people who have MS that may claim benefits and how it's portrayed. We featured a case study not so long ago in our campaigns of somebody that parked in a disabled parking space at a supermarket and got quite abusive language because they got out the car and walked out the car, but you know, to many, as you will know, to many people there is hidden elements to MS. So we want to remove that stigma and have that understanding at all levels, employers, local service level, what people need. So I think a lot of it has got to be highlighting what it is really like to live with MS, and highlighting what we're doing, particularly around research, and also, you know, just make sure people have the knowledge, whether, you know, they know to speak about disease-modifying therapies with the neurologist or the MS nurse, and that they've got that knowledge and that awareness that there is something out there that could potentially benefit them.
I think as well, you give people confidence as well to put their hand up on a question. Certainly, I know that the sort of older generation of people won't necessarily want to question a doctor's decision, or whether it be the MS nurse or the government or whoever. They think that that's the decision that's been made. I don't want to question that. They know better than me. But I think you give people a voice and you give us support and confidence. And I think when I've been involved in the focus groups, that was one of the key things that I put down as well. That actually, you know, prior to being involved with MS Society, coming along and seeing what you did, I didn't have the voice that I've got now, and the confidence to challenge things and put my opinion across. So for me, for what matter, I'm eternally grateful, and I'm sure there'll be loads of people. Well, I know loads of people that'll watch this. It depends how many. We'll try and get somebody famous to share it, and we'll see how we get on. But thank you very much, not just for your time today, but for everything that you do here. And I know that, you know, through Katie and Hannah and all the other guys in the office now, they are all brilliant. And probably, I think the one thing for me that sort of epitomises the attitude and the culture within the office would be when I was volunteering at Tea in the Park, and we got back here and unloaded the van at about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Katie then drove us home, dropped us off, and then the realisation was that Katie had to drop the van off at 8 in the morning. Now she lives in Glasgow, she's dropping me in Edinburgh, so she's dropping me off about 2, half 2. She's got to drive to Glasgow, get in her house, and then she's got to get up, clean the van, and take it to the depot for 8, so that you don't get charged an extra day. Now, if you tried to ask anybody else within the work for whatever big company, there would be no chance. But it just shows Katie done it. What a conscientious workforce, and you know that these are so committed and passionate and focused on ensuring that he's deliver everything possible that he can, and that nothing is going to waste.
And I think it's that it's all working together to stop MS. We're not going to do. Nobody's going to do it single-handedly. We do have to join all those dots to do it.
We'll be in it to win it, as I say. But
absolutely.
for me, that was I couldn't believe that. It's even just from an outsider looking in and going, wow, that's some commitment, because you've got your work and your job, and it's a whole new level of that sort of commitment. And I just wish that everybody could get to see little glimpses of that for society. They maybe have the same sort of faith and belief in these guys. So hopefully. So anyway, listen, I'll ramble on all day and burn your ears off, so I'll leave you to it. But thank you very, very much, and thank you to the wonderful Hannah for doing the filming today. Now all you need to do is hit the little button, and we'll say goodbye. So thanks very much. Cheers now.